So you're telling me here now that you're not ruling out the possibility of violence tomorrow?
I honestly do not believe, Brother Dominique, as hard as you attempt in your weak manner to press, I honestly do not believe that there will be any violence tomorrow whatsoever.
Muhammad already appears to be in damage control mode about tomorrow's event. We asked him if the march will be a failure if only 2,000 people turn out. Muhammad's answer no, because thanks to the media, millions have already heard his message. Muhammad has also been dogged by questions about where his funding comes from, a topic he was not too happy to discuss. How do you make your living?
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Inside City Hall. I'm Andrew Kurtzman. The mayor says he's a hate monger. Harlem politicians say he's an outsider. He's called a demagogue, a racist, an anti-Semite. And with every press conference, Khalid Muhammad adds fuel to those charges. Tomorrow he'll address his so-called Million Youth March. Today, the minister sat down for an exclusive interview with my New York One colleague Dominic Carter. Tonight, we'll bring you that interview. And then later, we'll bring together our Friday Reporters Roundtable to discuss the matter. We'll also part the curtains on this week's winners and losers in the news. But we begin with our top story. Khalid Muhammad refused today to rule out the possibility of violence at tomorrow's rally. He met up with our camera crew at Amy Ruth's, a restaurant on 116th Street in Harlem.
What Dr. King think? You sit here and ask me what Dr. King would think. How could I possibly know what Dr. King would think? I think, though, that maybe Dr. King would understand that when you have a strong, militant, revolutionary, uncompromising voice out there, that it forces the enemy in a position to say, I'd better deal with Martin Luther King Jr. I certainly don't want to deal with the Black Power crew that's out there.
Critics have charged Muhammad became invisible after last year's march. We asked him what has he been doing the last year. His answer, working street patrols with an organization known as Black Men's Movement Against Crack. He says he's working to set up a free food program and also doing work, Lewis, with political prisoners.
Thanks a lot, Dominic.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Inside City Hall.
We asked him what, besides the color of his skin, separates him from David Duke. Muhammad says his people have been oppressed, Duke's have not. We also asked him this question about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What would Dr. King think of what you're doing? What would, if he were alive today, what the hateful words that you have used to describe people, what would he think?
That's only.
But what kind of leader uses those words when there are people's lives at risk?
A strong leader, a bold leader, an uncompromising
and
leader.
then the type of leader that as soon as the stuff hits the fan, he leaves.
Well, you know that I didn't leave, but you are playing the devil's advocate, as you do so often. You're sitting here in the place of the white man, saying what the white man wants you to say. You've seen in the newspapers, in the Post, in the Daily News, me in the middle of the